Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and today we are preparing for trading on September 27th, 2019. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, so let's dive in here. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So today we had a bunch of central bankers speaking, but overall, the market wasn't impacted much by that. Right now, the main stuff that's going on in the market is our geopolitical stuff out of the US. So this would be President Trump's impeachment. As you may be aware, or if you're not, I would highly recommend going and reading up on it. Bloomberg, Reuters, any of those websites can give you the full details. So the impeachment, so apparently President Trump asked for help from Ukraine to dig up stuff on his rival for the 2020 election. And as a result of that, there is investigation into that from the Democrats. So that's what's going on. And so President Trump has tweeted a bunch in regards to this, and he's been threatening the equity markets and stuff like that. However, the markets seem to be disregarding it at this point. They don't think there's enough data to impeach him. But overall, though, so we did see a drop in the markets, but then the markets went up. So overall, just keep an eye on that scenario. So that's what's going on from geopolitical issues perspective. And coming up here on Friday, we have a bunch of US dollar data. We have core durable goods, personal spending. We have FOMC members speaking, as well as consumer confidence sentiment numbers here. So overall, that's pretty much the only important data coming out. We do have French CPI numbers, but light in terms of the data. Another thing we need to keep in mind is, though, we are coming into the month end, and we are also coming into end of the quarter. So when that happens, we generally see that markets can be volatile as the orders are closed and so forth. So make sure you keep an eye on that. So that's all we have in terms of our fundamentals. So let's go on to our charts now. We'll start off by taking a look at our euro dollar. Euro dollar, we've been talking about how price had been or has been trading in this range for quite some time, since August here, the entire month of September, it's been trading in this range here, and part of August too. At this point, though, we have seen the price drop. So there is a break to the downside. Now, the question is, will it stay down, or are we going to see a reversal? So we have to be very careful with this. Overall bias is to the downside. What I would watch out for would be maybe a pullback and a retest of this 1.0950 level, or even into 1.0940 level. So watch out for those levels. If price goes up, we need to see, is it going to continue higher, or will it stay below? So if it stays below 1.0940 level, I would look for price to move back lower here. So bias is to the downside here. Next target here is 1.0840 level, or let's say 1.0850 level. So bias is to the downside. Again, I would be careful though, because sometimes once we get a break, things can pull back in, making it a false break. So just keep that in mind. But biases to the downside, target is 1.0850. Pound dollar here, pound here. Pound is also biased to the downside. We saw a pullback and a drop. We are into the support level, so just be careful with this one. But biases to the downside, pullback is, or potential pullback level is 1.2350. And then looking for a drop here. So bearish bias here for pound dollar. Target would be 1.2220. So bearish bias for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one is bearish as well. It did go up, but we have a doji here, so looking for price to drop further. And in terms of our target, we're looking at 0.6720 and then 0.6680 as our target. So bearish bias here for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one is trading sideways here. It's been trading in this range for pretty much the entire week here. So bias is neutral for New Zealand dollar. We did see a rejection here. However, it could go retest it. And if it stays below 0.6320, I will look for a drop back towards 0.6250. So this is the range it's been trading in, and I'm looking for it to basically be range bound at this point now. So neutral bias there. Dollar CAD here, this one has also been range bound. As we can see, price has just been going back and forth in this range. It rejected the high multiple times here, but today it rejected the low as well as yesterday and day before. So price is just range bound at the moment. So bias is neutral. Looking for price to trade between these two levels here. So between 1.3300 and 1.3220. So neutral bias for dollar CAD as well. Gold has dropped. It tried to break out here and then, sorry, not gold, silver, my apologies. This one has dropped. So yesterday we were looking for a drop, nice pullback and a drop. So bias is still bearish, looking for price to come back down towards a 17.50 level here. So bearish bias for silver. Now we could get a pullback with this one as well. And potential pullback level will be 18 or 17.90 level. And then looking for a drop. So bias is bearish for silver here. Gold is neutral. We see that price hasn't really done a whole lot today. So with this one, we could see a retest of the high from today. And as long as it stays below 1511, I'm looking for price to drop towards 1490 and then towards 1480 level. So bias is bearish for, bias is bearish for gold as well. Oil here, oil is interesting. We have multiple pins here, but price is still holding below this 57 level. So at this point, bias is still bearish. Target is 55.30 and then 54.80. So I'm looking for price to come back and retest the low here. And as long as it stays below this 57 level, I'm looking for price to drop. So bias is bearish for oil. 55.30 is the first level. 54.80 is the second level. Copper here, this one finally broke through the support level here. So this is a bearish bias here. Looking for a further drop here. 2.52 is the first target, and then 2.50 is the second target. Now we could get a pullback here. So potential pullback level will be 2.55 and then a drop here. So bias is bearish for copper. Bitcoin, another drop here. So bias is still bearish here. Looking for it to drop further. First target is the low of today at 7,700. And then we're looking at 73.80. So bias is bearish here. And in terms of the pullback, we could get a pullback towards 83.80 level and then a drop. So something like this. Bias here is bearish for Bitcoin. Equities here. We'll start with S&P 500. These have been equities have been trading sideways, or at least S&P 500 has been trading sideways here. We saw that price could not go through the resistance level here, so it dropped. And now we do have bearishness in this, but it is still trading sideways here. So I would look for price to drop further. towards 2960, and then 2950, so 2950. Now we could get a retest of the high at 2990, but as long as it stays below that, I'm looking for a drop here. So a bias here is bearish for S&P 500. NASDAQ here, same thing. We saw that price went to retest. It was into the support resistance level here. It held below and it dropped. Next target is 76.80 and then 76.40. So as long as price stays below today's high, I am looking for a drop. So 76.80 and then 76.40 are the two targets to the downside. DAX here, DAX actually went up, but this one is into resistance here. So if price does not go through 330 level, this one could drop, but we do have a bullish candle close here. So if it goes through this level, next target would be 12,000. So next target, 12,420 level here. But if it doesn't go through, because this is a good support resistance level, if it doesn't go through, this one could turn like others as well. For now, though, this one does have bullishness in it. So if it crosses the 12,300 level, then we could look at 12,420. Next one, FTSE here, a big solid candle here, bullish. Now we are into solid resistance here. So if it doesn't go through, this one could come back into the range here towards 72.80. But should it go through, then we have this room to the upside, 74.50. So for now, bias is bullish for FTSE. And the important thing to keep in mind will be this resistance here. If it goes through, we are definitely looking for 74.50 for this. So bullish bias here. Nikkei here. Nikkei closed positive, but we see a drop here. So this one is trading in a range. It hasn't been able to get through the high. So I would look for a move back towards 21,800. So the bias here is neutral. I would look for a sideways move here with Nikkei as well. So we could just see move like this. So neutral bias here for Nikkei. All right, so that's it for today. I will wrap it up here. You guys have a really good trading day tomorrow, and I'll be back with weekly analysis on Sunday. Okay, bye for now.